Good evening. Good evening, Tennessee Democrats. Mike McWherter, would you just come up just for one moment? We have a commemorative poster that we have made in honor of Ned McWherter, and we'd like to present Mike McWherter and his family with issue number 1. Those posters are on sale in the back. There are only 100 of them, and we hope you'll take one and take one home. One of my great privileges as chairman of the Tennessee Democratic Party is to shout out those who have supported us and those who have made this evening a success and our ability to do this. All of you who've heard me travel the state have heard me talk about money is the mother's milk of politics, and without you tonight, we couldn't do what we need to do. There are two very special people that I want to acknowledge who are party sustainers. People who have contributed $25,000 or more to our efforts at the Tennessee Democratic Party. And I'd like Bill Freeman to stand up, who's with us tonight, and Olin Mills couldn't be here. Bill, where are you? Thank you. And I'd like you to hold your applause. I just want to acknowledge the $10,000 presenting sponsors, the Tennessee Education Association, hey, teachers, Federal Express, yeah, teachers, National Health Corps, and Bacon and Caviar Catering. Thank you for being sponsors. Hold your applause, and I'm going to run through this, but these are all the people who've made this night a success. The American Federation of Teachers, DWP Live, Iron Workers Local 492, the Letter Carriers, Congressman Jim Cooper, SEIU, Teamsters Local 480 in Nashville, and 667 out of Memphis, former Vice President Al Gore, Tennessee Association of Realtors, Congressman John Tanner, the Mad Platter, United Food and Commercial Workers, United Steelworkers, the International Association of Machinists, and International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Baker Donaldson, Bass, Berry & Sims, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Tennessee, Bridgestone, Concerned Automotive Retailers, Correction Corporation of America, CWA, those communication workers, we appreciate you, HCA, Iron Workers Local 704, Nashville Firefighters, Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, yeah! Southeast Laborers, Steam Fitters Local 614 out of Memphis, the AFL-CIO of Tennessee, the new president, Gary Moore, is here with us tonight. Tennessee Bakers Association, Tennessee Highway Contractors, the Medical Association of Tennessee, United Transportation Union, Atomic Trades and Labor Council, the Buffalo PAC is here, AFSCME Local 713 out of Morgan County, the Locomotive Engineers, Hardaway Construction, Congressman Lincoln Davis is here with us, Mayor Dean, Craig Fitzhugh, lawyers involved for Tennessee, Mike McWherter and his family stepped up. Mid-South Carpenters, Teamsters Local 217, the Malt Beverage Association, Tuck Hinton Architects, and House Caucus Chair Mike Turner. Please thank them for all that they have done tonight. Thank you. And I want to personally take just a moment and thank our friends in labor. It is time that America works for working Americans. And Republicans have launched an attack on working families. And labor, you're going to stand with us to stop that assault this coming year. Please thank our friends in labor. We can't do our work without the elected officials, our Democratic elected officials that carry our message to Washington, Nashville, and all across the state. And we're blessed to have Congressman Jim Cooper and his lovely wife, Martha, with us. And Mayor Carl Dean is going to be here shortly. He had another event. We're glad to have him. And I'd like all the elected officials, hold your applause, but I'd just like all the elected officials who are here to stand up. Senator Andy Burke, Senator Roy Herron, Representative Mike Stewart, Senator Stewart, Mike Turner, Bob Tuke, Gary Moore, Senator Barnes, Joe Pitts, Representative Fitzhugh, and then Ty Cobb and Eddie Oakley, who are in the legislature, Johnny Turner, Congressman Lincoln Davis is also here, and Representative Sherry Jones. All of you stand up and be recognized and thanked. Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to recognize my officers, the people who helped me make my job a success, Vice Chair Elisa Parker, Secretary Gail Jones-Carson, Treasurer Dave Garrison, and our legal counsel, Gerard Stranch. Thank you all for what you do. Yeah. And finally, we can't make a night like this a success without the volunteers and the staff of the Tennessee Democratic Party. There are 100 men and women volunteering tonight to help make this a success. Please thank them for what they do. Now, looking out across this crowd of almost 1,000 Democrats, I know there are 1,000 Ned McWherter stories that you all could tell. Now, mine begins in the winter of 1985, in my very first conversation as I was sitting across from Speaker Ned McWherter over pancakes and coffee in the Loveless Cafe here in Nashville, Tennessee, as he was planning his run for governor. He said to me, "They tell me that I got to run me a modern campaign for governor, boy. And to do that, I got to have me some pewters." Now, I could run my campaign out of a feed book, just like I run my cattle at the farm, but they tell me this is a new day. And nowadays, you got to have pewters to win. And they tell me, boy, I got to have a lot of them. And boy, they tell me, you know something about pewters. Well, perplexed as to what a feed book was, I'm a city boy, mind you, I really didn't have any idea what pewters were. I thought maybe this was lingo for some sort of Southern campaign strategy that was unfamiliar to me, but not wanting to miss the point, I gently asked, "Speaker, I'm not sure quite what you mean by pewters." Well, without hesitation, he responded, "You know what I'm talking about. They have screens and keyboards, and they do lots of calculating on them." And I said, "Oh, computers." And Ned McWherter replied back, "Yeah, pewters." Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a lot of pewters. And Richard McKinney and David Friedlander, who are here with us tonight, they know what I'm talking about. We ran them hard and we ran them long. Because Ned McWherter knew that to win a modern campaign in Tennessee, he needed tools that he had never used before. He saw out beyond where he was to where he was going. A visionary who was more comfortable with a feed book for sure, but a man who knew it would take pewters to win a modern campaign. This is an emotional and sentimental night for me, ladies and gentlemen. Standing before this crowd of Democrats is inspiring and humbling. Less than 6 months ago, within just a few days of each other, I experienced two terrible losses, one devastating and one profound. On April 2nd, as many of you know, I suffered the loss of my 19-year-old son, Wilson, a nightmare I would not wish on any parent. And 2 days later, I got another dose of bad news. Ned McWherter had died. And I just want to take a personal moment here with all of you and thank and acknowledge the love and support that this family of Democrats has given my family and me as we've worked through this loss. Thank you. But it is this Democratic family, one that Ned McWherter knew so well, that he helped nurture and build, that provided the foundation of comfort and security that we so needed in my family's darkest hour. And this is really why we are here tonight, to honor a man who created the most powerful and loving Democratic family that this state has ever seen. A family that recognizes that to help those in need, to help those least able to help themselves, is the ultimate goal of government and the community in which we live. Ned McWherter personified this, and for that we all gather here tonight. I know that my son is in the company of a great man, and there is peace and solace in that. This is a special night just not for me, but for the thousands of others who were touched by the hand, the wisdom, and love of Ned McWherter. And tonight we celebrate that legacy and gather as Tennessee Democrats in tribute to him. Before I conclude, as we honor a legacy, it's appropriate to take a brief moment to look towards the future, towards a new direction we must take. Across the country, Democrats had a very tough election year in 2010. and Tennessee wasn't spared either. But now with Republicans in power, we are seeing a reckless and radical overreach that threatens our future and the livelihoods of millions of Tennesseans. On the federal level, Republicans want to eliminate Medicare as we know it and privatize Social Security while doing all they can to protect the powerful and privileged while pounding the middle class. In Tennessee, we've watched Republicans strip teachers of their right to collective bargaining and impose a modern-day poll tax with a useless and meaningless photo ID law that only serves to make it virtually impossible for people like Senator Roy Herron's 94-year-old mother, Miss Mary, to vote. And that's what your Democratic Party, your Democratic members of Congress, your Democratic state legislators, and each of you are fighting every day. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this radical Republican overreach can be a game changer for Democrats, because the more Republicans overreach, the more it unifies our Democratic base of working people, women, minorities, labor, Latinos, and more. And it allows us to make inroads with a very important swing voter. I call them regular Tennesseans, who care about the basic things in life, like whether they have a good job, they can educate their children, or afford to take their child to the doctor. These voters are appalled at what Republicans have done, and their eyes and hearts and minds are now open like never before, as they have seen firsthand that elections do have consequences. But it's up to us. It's up to us to seize the opportunity. It's up to us working together to put in place the tools, the infrastructure, and programs needed to run the radicals out, those Fox-fed fanatics, to put working families first and to take Tennessee back for our families and our future. Now, this isn't going to be an easy task, but to seize this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, we must take our party in a bold new direction, one that we are asking you right now to commit yourself to be a part of. We want and need your help to make the Democratic Party that one is strong and effective at the grassroots level, aggressively defines our opponents and defends our democratic principles and values, is, as Drew Weston so eloquently explained today in our messaging seminar, an inclusive, values-based party that can win elections at all levels. Now, we didn't get in this mess overnight, and we won't change the party and take Tennessee back overnight either. But with your help, we will change the party's direction, and we will take back Tennessee. Over the next few weeks, you will hear about our new direction to take back Tennessee. We'll be talking to you, our party stakeholders. We want your ideas about how to best move our party forward, what your priorities are, and what role you want to play in the effort to take back Tennessee. Because it's your party, it's your fight, it's our obligation, ladies and gentlemen. It's too important, and the stakes are too high. We are fighting for Tennessee's future, and we need you on the field with us. God bless you, and thank you for all you are about to do.